All right, y'all. Unlike Chantal, I actually try to upgrade since I do podcasting and stuff, and I figured I would test out some new microphone equipment while watching some Unicorn Pondu. And yeah, I did see the garlic bread. That's sad cake. Oh my god, I did see garlic bread covered it too, and I was hanging out with the guild today. It's Sadix Sunday, so I didn't get to sit in on any of the other stuff. But if what Garlic Bread said was true about some of the stuff that Chantal just said, I'm probably going to go off just a little bit because it's like I said about people in the service industry. That is a lot of work. That is a real job, and I can't imagine being a bigger person myself putting those people through anything or disrespecting them, but I want to see for myself what she said, and I am testing out this new microphone to see how well it picks up because I normally use the Yeti Nano when I'm in the other office or something, but I do have a little mini microphone and I want to just see if it stops about that wah wah sound because I heard it, I know y'all heard it, and I apologize. I am still trying to get things together in the new house and I want to make sure that the sound and the acoustics are not grating on you. We already have to deal with this heifer's chewing. You don't need any extra nonsense out of me. So I figured the new mic will cancel out any of the weird noises, but we'll see. And let me get this started because you didn't come here to see me drinking my Lipton, which once again, I don't boycott anything because if I really stand with something, I'll use my voice and knowledge to speak up on it. I won't act like I'm not using stuff to seem pious. But, some people have to live that fraudulent life. Y'all saw that sad anniversary, so I'm not shocked by anything she does anymore. Whew, okay, let's get this started. Once again, I love Unicorn Pondu because he edits, but it's 21:43, so I have a feeling I'm about to get into some fuckery, so I'm bracing myself. Let's get this started. And before I even get started, you can tell by the title, Infuriating Tipping Options Persian Kebab Mukbang. Didn't they just have that for the anniversary too? But whatever, let's go.
Why, hello everybody, how are we? My name
Hey.
is Chantal. Welcome back to another video.
Hi, Unicorn Pondu.
Another video. It's called My Favorite Persian Kebab and Rice Mukbang. So I guess let's see what Chantal has to say today, shall we?
I guess.
Hello, foodie beauties.
Hey girls, just wanted to pop in before we get started. Say a big thank you to all our hospitality working girlies out there. Appreciate it. This is why I like the reaction channels, especially reaction channels like Unicorn Pondu, because it's sad that we have to say our appreciation to the people who actually out there busting y'all's asses, working hard, especially during the pandemic. You were the people on the front line dealing things, helping people out, whether you were in customer service for grocery stores, whether you were in food service, you held the line, just like our medical staff and service. People like to look down on those and the wait staff and food service as if it's a lesser job, but we all utilize your services. So I also add my thanks with Unicorn Pondu, and I'm sure other people who understand how hard y'all work. Don't let this heifer piss you off. She's an idiot. All right.
Wow, assalamu alaikum.
What the?
Welcome back to the
She's already leaning into the loud, and this is one of the things that I'm noticing about Chantal. She seems to have this addiction to any attention is good attention. So I'm going to act all loud and quirky because I know people are watching and going to talk shit anyway. And let me tell you something. I know what you're doing. You're trying to go the Nikocado avocado route, but you're not going to be successful like Nick. He did it in an early time before everybody turned their attention to how unhealthy his stuff was. He made his bag. You just look like a cheap Aldi's kind of no frills knockoff of Nikocado avocado at this point, and it's not innocent or interesting. It's just loud and annoying. Just stop.
Oh, I'm super hyper and you're gonna get it.
And I wonder why you're super hyper and we're gonna get...
Because she thinks it's cute. It's not cute. It's loud. It's obnoxious. You have been on YouTube way too long. This isn't going to make you money, honey. I'm just telling you right now. This isn't going to make you money. It's making me mad already. I'm only a few seconds in, and I'm just like, do I really want to do this? Do I? What is my life right now? Why am I reacting to this person? She's loud. She's obnoxious. She's chronic online and for attention. Okay. Okay.
Get it. Number 2, when do we not get it from you, girlie? Come on.
And I'm super hungry as well. I have one of my favorite meals. I know I say that everything. I rotate my favorite.
You try to do this easy layup. And it would be a slam dunk to say you're always hungry. That's just boring at this point. You're not being quirky by telling us stuff we already know. You have like a literal... This is like the kind of platter of rice that you bring to a potluck or party. That is enough for more than one person. And it's not even joke anymore. This is sad. And I'm going to keep calling it out for the sadness that it is. I know she thinks she's being cute. I know she thinks she's being funny. But this is sad.
Foods. That's how it goes. So this is
Oh, or you could just like food.
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
Exactly.
kebab. Persian kebab. And yeah, I have myself a side of yogurt. I have a huge thing of yogurt in my fridge. I have some beans. This is stewed beans with tomato.
Look. Like, there's no way she's ever going to make any of that food appealing to me, period. As a matter of fact, she has been really good for my diet, honestly, because every time I think, I want a snack, she tends to put out a new video and reminds me of what I'm fighting against, and she's been really good for putting me off, but I'm afraid I'm going to end up a food aversion watching her with this stuff. This is ridiculous. I see rice, I see beans, I see bread. She is a carb queen. And this is crazy, y'all.
Oh, they're so good. And the kebab, of course, with the rice, which is the saffron rice with these little berry things. And the kebab is underneath.
The fact that you didn't even bother to study what you're putting in you before you put it in you is already, like, scary enough to me. But then you put in a little caption ahead of time because you remembered after the fact and you typed it in. Why don't you wait before you sit in front of the camera with the food, figure out what you're putting in you, and then talk about it? This really isn't that hard. This feels like I'm an elementary school teacher teaching a kindergartner how to do their job. You know what you're about to eat normally, so calm down, look at the camera, tell us what you're going to eat, and then eat it, honey. It's not rocket science. You're fucking mukbanging. Wow.
We have to dig it out. And some fresh bread they make there. So, and I'm also having fruits to drink. It says made in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. Anyway, hi, baby girl. Okay.
Really? With the hi, baby girl? You don't love or care about that cat. So I would love it, truly love it, if you would just shush. Just shush. We know you don't like the cat. We know the cat is just there to flip us off. So every time you go, hi, baby girl, we know that you're probably triggering BBJ at that point on purpose because you know that people adjacent to her are probably watching you just rolling their eyes. I hope they turn you down when you do that so they don't scar that poor elder kitty.
Okay, let's dig out these kebabs. Nice buttery rice.
Oh, these look like turds. No. This is not the food shame at all. And I get it. It is probably delicious meat, but the way they make it looks like something that comes out your rear end. We were joking about it being the meat poops before, but seriously, why do they shape it like that? It doesn't look right. You couldn't. I'm sorry. My brain already associates that with turds, and there is no freaking way. None.
Too bad you're not getting any. What about your 1-year anniversary, huh? Gonna mention that.
Yeah, and that was another thing that garlic bread sorry to interrupt, Unicorn Pondu, made me pause because I was listening to him in the background while playing in the dungeon, and he said that he thinks that this was from an earlier thing she taped before the anniversary, and it makes sense because a lot of stuff isn't lining up, including talking about going grocery shopping when they supposedly already did it, no talks of the anniversary, and not bringing up because she knows we're all talking smack about it. There has not been one channel who didn't have the same concise consensus that that was the most saddest, pathetic attempt at trying to show love for each other that we ever seen. So it was interesting that she decided to upload this. And it's interesting to see how it matches up to where we're supposed to be at right now. You never get reality with Chantal, though. And that's what I need you to understand. When you watch this person, you need to subject yourself to suspended logic, reason, and probably sanity. I'm enjoying it because crazy person to crazy person, it's really interesting to see how low she goes, but it is sad too. Let's just keep it 100. This is sad.
Where's my other kebab? Here we go. And a huge tomato, a grilled tomato. So let us say Bismillah and dig in.
I know that she is doing this on purpose, and that is why I hate taking the rage bait that I feel she's trying to pull out of anybody watching her. But she has to know that eating this big amount of food, or attempting to eat this big amount of food, because I'm praying, fingers crossed, that she gets full partway through and that I don't see her legitimately eat a platter full of rice again. But you never know with Chantal. So I'm bracing myself because it's always bad. That's the only consistency I can say about these videos. It is almost always bad.
With the beans dipping in the bread.
Beans and bread, really?
As you can
I'm gonna let Unicorn say it because I think we're on the same page, but oh my god.
Be okay.
She's not okay. She's not okay. Can I just say it? Crazy to crazy. She is not. This is not okay. There is nothing okay about any of this.
What's wrong? Chantal, you don't act this weird normal. I mean, you don't act this erratic on video, usually.
She's
what happened? It's
giving.
One day after your anniversary, allegedly. What happened?
This was pre-anniversary, and I believe that now. But she's always manic. She's just not diagnosed. You cannot convince me anymore. This is some heavy manic energy. And it's not even funny manic energy. She is trying way too hard to do a Nikocado avocado. I'm not going to stop saying it. But unlike Nick, she's like the anti-Nick. He makes the money from being quirky and having a partner that's actually in on the joke. And with him, you could sense that him and Orlin are in with each other. Versus this nonsense, he won't even sit and eat with her, which I'm sorry. Culturally speaking, it's fucking weird. My partner, when we have dinner, we eat together. I just don't even understand the levels of just weirdness. And not quirky, fun weird like she thinks it is. Just sad weird.
tell we haven't done groceries yet. That will be tonight.
And that's tell right there. Because there's no effing what they just did a grocery haul. I know the running joke is she hoovers like a Kirby all the food. But no, this is a something she taped ahead of time before that sad anniversary. And it's just like, I don't even want to follow this chick's timeline. It's all in her head anyway, and she's a crazy person.
Inshallah. Yogurt? I love yogurt.
Doubt it. You like it on other stuff.
Plain yogurt, unsavory food, of course.
Yeah. Feeders. You're getting your money's worth with this one. I don't understand this content. You will never get me to understand the appeal, the watchability outside the reactions. I don't get this. What about this? Seriously, just watching her shovel this amount of food into her face could possibly interest people except for like going to a carnival. Because back in the olden days, you would go to a carnival and watch a bearded person or a really super like a big girl like me, sit there for 50 cents or a dime or whatnot. This is giving that energy. She is literally a carnival sideshow.
You usually don't show her eating. I don't. It's just like a whatever. Chantal eating. You're not missing much. But like, what the hell is going on?
I don't know.
So, I thought today, it's not for you, baby girl.
Oh, fucking with the cat in the background. Seriously. Sala, get your cat. Get your cat. Get your cat. User not This is supposed to be where your money's being made and you keep letting the cat get in front of the camera in the shot trying to get at the... I even forgot what I was going to say when I originally paused it. I think it was Unicorn Bandu asking what's wrong with her. What isn't wrong with her? She's trapped in Kuwait. She's broke. She's in a loveless contract of a marriage that she won't even prove because we know it's a sham. There's a lot. I'd be here all night if I list everything that's wrong with her. I would love to list something that's right with her, but there isn't anything. The fact of the matter is she's shoveling enough party platter rice, meat poops in her mouth to fill the void of misery that is her life. But what pisses me off is that you were supposed to be a professional mukbanger, a professional YouTuber, and you can't even train your little baby kitty to stay out of the situation while you're doing that. It's fucked up, man. It really is, and it's annoying because you know it annoys people.
Having. Oh, we also have some jeer and lemon. I think this is arugula. Mm-hmm.
Anything to make
We
noise.
talk about tipping culture these days. Beauty sip.
Beauty sip is not a thing.
It's not.
You tried to make it the thing, please, for the love of God. There's enough beauty things enough. There's foodie beauty. That's enough beauty things.
And nothing she does is beautiful. Not a damn thing. Sorry, honey, I don't care. She irks me. The whole idea of saying things like beauty bite and beauty sip and you're a beast. You know it. We know it. Stop playing. Just eat.
And beauty bite and there's enough, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tipping culture is different in every country.
I'll get to the heifer's nonsense in a moment. I was just studying that weird bottle. I know it's made in Saudi Arabia, but why'd they have the character from Home on it? It looked like that little alien from Home. You know that little green alien that the guy from Big Bang Theory played? Y'all have some wild-ass drinks, because he was on The Complete Son, too. They got like an obsession over there with that alien from Home. Now, I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent, but that's probably still more interesting than what this boring-ass bitch is about to say, so... It's just the alien from Home, though.
Like, here it's a choice. You know, like, it's not mandatory. And there's some countries that are like that. There's some countries that...
Okay. Because I know she's about to say something, like, inherently and drastically stupid. There's a reason why, like, in Japan, it's rude and against common courtesy to tip people. Those people get paid properly. It's probably like that in the fourth richest country in the world, which you're living in. So tipping is not normally culturally associated in places where people are paid a fair wage. But here in the States and in Canada especially, a lot of people are tip-based wage employees. So that means they make a baseline salary, which is lower than the standard, a lot of times even under minimum wage. And that's because they are basing a wage of tips. It is incumbent on those of us who bother eating out to pay that 15 to 20 or more, depending on how big your order is, percent in tips. I know you're broke, but stop telling us you're broke without saying it directly, you poor ass bitch.
Frowned upon tipping. And then there's some countries who it's basically, like, in my opinion, a bit out of control. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Where have you even really gone? You've been to Cuba once. You smuggled yourself back and forth into the States for fast food. You act like you're a world traveler. You've been to Thailand, I watched you haggle stuff with people who you damaged their suspension on both their tuk-tuks and other vehicles. You have a lot of nerve complaining about tipping. Is this because we called out your little fucking travel tip bullshit? Because you, like I said, you keep telling us without telling us you're broke. But now you complain about tipping? Ma'am, get the fuck out of here. What is wrong with her? Seriously.
Canada being one of those, US. Every time I think of the tipping issue,
I ain't gonna keep telling you to keep my country's name out of your mouth. Keep America out your mouth. We don't want you. We don't care about your opinions. We hope you stay your ass out of our country from now on. You heifer.
think of the Reservoir Dogs movie where Mr. Pink is like, Steve Buscemi is like telling everyone off because you got a tip, and the other guy's like, I only tip if it's.
You do realize they were characters, right? You realize that this was literally a movie. These were characters. He's not indicative of most decent people who understand that if you go out to eat at a restaurant, you should tip. And everybody knows at least one asshole who likes to complain about that. That's why they don't get invited out to dinner and stuff, because we don't want to be fucking embarrassed by their cheap ass nonsense. Just say you're broke. We don't need you talking about Mr. Pink. I actually like Reservoir Dogs, and I just don't like the fact that you're talking like you know what you're talking about. But just say Salah watches that movie a lot, and you sit there acting like you know, weirdo.
Service.
That would be Chantal.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in my mind.
She is that person. That's why she ain't got no friends. You do not want that kind of person with you when you're trying to sit down, have a fun night out with your friends, and having that energy. And then when you all go to play, she's like, I don't think we should tip. I ate the biggest meal. I ate off some of y'all's plates, but I don't think we should. Why should we give that server who had to heft all those plates over to me any extra money? She's embarrassing. I would not. She could not sit with us.
This sauce. Oh.
It's beans. It's beans. It's beans. Do you realize that those look like standard baked beans? So it's probably like a tomatoey sauce. They might have put maybe a little bit of spices in it, but it's fucking beans, man. So acting like you're eating like ambrosia at this. Okay, get through this. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this.
Again, I usually don't show Chantal eating. It's whatever, Chantal eating, but like it's worse today than usual.
I think I might have to speed it up, because this is
Of
crazy.
all thing. Yeah, guys, wow.
And I just want her to get to the point.
I mean, I wish that people would pay their employees enough to where they don't have to rely on tipping, right? But it's a very weird topic to come up with. I mean, hey,
But not only that, and not to interrupt Unicorn Pondu's probably apt response to this nonsense, even if you don't like tipping because you're broke and you're cheap and stupid, the fact that it is called the service industry, which means somebody is working hard to serve you, it is called generosity. So even if I was in the country, unless they tell me that it's inherently rude to do it, I am going to tip somebody, whether they're a cab driver, whether they help bring the baggages up in the hotel, whether they are a waiter, waitress, diner staff. I don't understand how you don't get that it is called the service industry, which means these people are working to make something comfortable for you. So it is the least you can do when somebody is providing service to you is to provide gratuity to them. That is why it's called gratuity. It's called manners too. We already know you don't have that, heifer.
I guess, but I was not expecting tipping to be one of the topics today.
You don't think that, but Chantal always comes and bottoms out with the lower.
Or, I mean, I don't know. It's just like.
So this is all just about Chantal not wanting to pay people money.
Yeah, because she's broke. Because she's broke. And every time she says, I don't know, it's like, bitch, we know you don't know. So why are you talking? We know you're just making feeder content. You know that if you don't say controversial things, though, those of us who are getting bored with this shit won't watch. Because I don't need to see you eat yourself to death. So you just say this inherently stupid crap so that people like me, people like Unicorn Bandu, who probably was invested in you anyway because he's been around for a while, all the reaction channels will keep focusing on you. But this is ridiculous. This isn't a topic. This is just you trying to engage in rage click.
It all comes down to, if you guys were confused about why she's probably not super happy, Chantal, like, if you don't want to eat out, don't eat out. Go to another place.
Or cook. I thought she was Miss Home Chef, though. Remember that, y'all? Remember how she was going to cook all the time and make stuff better than the restaurant? How she was coming for the Cheesecake Factory with that scary nonsense? The stupid shit she was doing in her kitchen with the tongs, trying to be all cutesy. What happened to that? Work. She's averse to work. I don't get it.
The surfers, it's not their fault. It's like their employers be mad at the people that hire these people and run these these restaurants.
You're asking her to think deep. The only thing she ever thinks deep about is what she's gonna put in her gullet.
You're getting tipped extra money to do your job. You know, like, you're bringing me a
Ma'am, shut up. They are providing a service. You should provide a gratuity. If you can't afford to do it, don't eat out. It really is that simple. It is not rocket science. If you can't afford to pay the gratuity, don't eat out. This isn't an argument that you will ever win with anybody, you cheap bitch. Ugh.
Coke to the table. You're bringing my food from the kitchen to the table. You know, like, you're expected to do those things, and you're expected to be...
Look at the amount of food. Look at the amount of food that she's got right there. You're telling me that this hefty amount of food that was probably, people thought they were making a party platter, or at least feeding an actual small family, not just one person. She's doing this on purpose. You cannot convince me at this point that this shit ain't on purpose at this point. Cause come on now. Stop setting up these punchlines, Chantal. This is sad. Sad.
Nice. So don't be super nice, and I'll just keep my 20%. 20%.
Imagine being this entitled.
I can't.
You're doing your job. You're bringing my Coke to the table. Okay, well then stay at home and get your own. Get your own.
Like, the last time we went out to dinner, because like I said, I'm way more interested in this boring ass bitch. We went to Lucky's. Nice steakhouse. Fun, clean establishment. This kind of steaks that when you eat it, you are ready to go to sleep after, give you the lightest good food. And one of the things the server loved was kiddo can drink a bit of lemonade. He was just going through pictures of lemonade. It was adorable. And the server just kept coming up, just mesmerized by how much lemonade this little boy was just putting away. And just bright and nice, and kept the conversation going. And he didn't have to do that because the restaurant stayed busy. But it was just fun watching him tickle by bringing kiddo more lemonade to drink, because we were all like, how's he putting it? He put away at least a good 6 or 7 of them, right? So at least 6 or 7, right? So 5 or 6, yeah. So it was a fun time. And the server, who was probably busy, still came over and was genuinely nice and sweet.
He bought a bigger glass.
Yeah.
After like the third one, it was like, I'll bring you one of the bigger glass.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you get the attitude that you give Chantal, but normally when we go out to dinner, our family's treated nice. So, I don't know. I think it's you.
Coke at home, then Jesus, who pissed in your kebab?
Now it's like going up 25%. You see on the thing. You see, some restaurants make it mandatory.
It's called inflation, you dummy. I know you're not versed in economics or anything outside shoveling way too much food in your face, but prices go up. Inflation is a thing. I know people aren't educated. I know, but okay.
The tip.
Chantal, it's set up to where if you don't tip, the server doesn't really get paid. The money primarily goes towards the companies.
Yeah.
Be mad at the companies and don't be mad at like the server, which I feel like that she is. Just
I think, and this is just me speculating, she bought all that food. A server found out that it was just for one person instead of like a whole family or party worth of people, and they might have made a comment of, "Damn, girl, what the really?" Because it couldn't be. I can't imagine her rolling up into an establishment by people I know. Because we'd be like, this is way too much food for one person. Point blank period. I don't know if it was just growing up in black household with Filipino relatives. Bluntness is just normal for us. And this isn't healthy. And I don't think even the server whose finances depended on it wouldn't keep that opinion to themselves if they had to know that one person was eating all of this, because no, it's not normal.
it's all about money with this one, I swear.
She's broke.
To pay the extra money, fine. Stay at home then.
And the biggest argument I see is, how could you not tip a lot? Don't you know waiters only get paid like $4 an hour, $2 an hour? That's not true anymore.
Actually, and I know Unicorn's gonna probably speak in the States, it's still a problem. As sad as that is, my country, which you like to talk about, which I really wish you would keep us out of your mouth, but since you need to be educated anyway, there are still people working in the food service industry that make below minimum wage and rely on tips. Really, just educate yourself just a little bit before you open that big fat mouth of yours. You just can't help yourself though. You just step into stupid, you smear it all over the internet, and then when you get called out on it, you say we're bullying you. But it's not bullying you to educate you or just tell you to shut the fuck up when you don't know something, which you probably shouldn't talk at all because you don't know anything.
I have no experience with this, to be fair, but I have a feeling that like that still is the case. If anyone has any
I do, and I'm glad you said that, Unicorn Pandu, because economics, finance, and the job market is some of the stuff that I study. So while I don't have a degree in it, because I took my degree in other stuff, it's still a topic that I'm fascinated in because I do believe in workers' rights. I do believe that our economy shows that people should be paid more, but we're not there yet. It's one of the reasons why I talk about stuff like this, with social issues especially. Because we keep allowing these corporations to make billions of dollars while people can't even afford to pay their rent, pay their bills, and they are working very labor intensive jobs. You see how much this heifer is shuffling in her face. That was somebody cooking. That was somebody putting it together and hoisting it up to her. But she doesn't have any appreciation for it. And then you add the fact that here, somebody could make that amount of food for this unappreciative heifer and not even make minimum wage. It's infuriating. And she is just an awful human being. And the bottom just she keeps making it lower. We're going to hit Hades, y'all. We're going to hit Hades.
experience or is currently like a server or anything of the sort in my comments, I would like to hear from you because I haven't heard anything like revolutionary about like the service industry, like revolutionizing the way that we tip or something. I'm feeling that's still pretty
They
much
can't because a lot of these places are still right to work, even your state of Florida. So it runs the risk of losing your job altogether. And what's better, fighting for a fair wage and risking losing all of your wage, or just accepting the status quo and trying to get by? A lot of people in the service industry is also on social services like welfare because they have to get by. It's a fucked up system that I would love for us to organize and get better for people, but it really does take people giving a damn. And as you can see, there are a lot of entitled assholes like Chantal out here that thinks, oh, they make enough without even knowing what they make. It is a mess.
the case, isn't it?
Maybe at one time some waiters, yes, but there's minimum wage, you know? I think minimum wage is different for waiters.
Yes, it is, you dumb bitch. Anyway, I think minimum wage is you don't even know, but you talk with such authority. And this is why I hate stupid people who are confident, ignorantly confident at that. The arrogance alone is astounding. But the fact that you can say, I think minimum wage is different. They get under minimum wage because they are basing their actual made up wage on tips. It's a fair practice, no, but it's been a standard practice, at least here in the States and in some parts of Canada, for far too long. And I can't even believe I'm saying this because I know I'm not going to educate this heifer. Actual knowledge bounces off of her like a freaking wonder ball.
Here's the thing, you know what can fix this problem? How about the corporations or the businesses?
What can fix this problem is idiots like you not eating out, but that would probably bankrupt the nation at this point, the amount of money you waste on food.
Stop using customers to supplement waiters' incomes. Like, that's the problem.
Which I'm not saying I disagree with her, but like, why is she also putting like the blame on the waiter?
Because she never wants to take the blame for her part in the equation. Ever. She never wants to think that people eating out should want the people that serve them and make the food and even wash the dishes to have a fair living wage so that we can all live in a better place. She doesn't care about that. Everything she talks about comes from a completely selfish lean. And when you see it that way, everything she says just gives the side eye. It's the side eye.
Just like, you're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be bringing my Coke to my table. Chantal, is that...
She thinks she's royalty. She legitimately comes across as, I'm your queen. So you need to service me, and bitch, no, you're not. You got a fake contract marriage, and he doesn't even treat you like a princess. So let's stop whatever this act is.
Surfer's fault. It's the company's.
Mm-hmm.
A tip is a tip. Something a little extra.
It's all about her, by the way. She's mad at the fact that she has to pay more. That's it. It's all about money with her.
Exactly. And you notice how this was probably right after Thailand. I'm starting to really agree with Garlic Bread's assessment of that. This happened to after Thailand, where literally these are how these people survive. They need you to make sure that you add a little extra tip, especially since they had to deal with your extra weight. It's funny how you're coming back bitching about tipping from a place where tips were needed so that people can survive. Don't be going to these countries anymore. Do your visa run somewhere else. Don't go to Thailand. Don't go to Indonesia. Don't go to these Asian countries that rely on tourists who aren't cheap ass, broke ass bitches. Because it's annoying. Or if you do, please go to the Philippines. I hope you get some of my relatives, and I hope they make you embarrassed.
She's mad that she has to spend more money to dine out. She just wants everything for free, if not like the cheapest way possible, and she's upset that she has to spend extra money.
Mm-hmm.
Supplementing.
Say you're broke. Just say it. We know it. Say you're broke. You're broke.
The waiter's whole income. Like, paying them less just so they can get tips. Like, you can't rely on...
Well, what are you going to do about it then, Chantal? Are you going to go petition every corporation, all the big, like, garden industries and other restaurant companies to pay their employees a living wage? Are you going to stick it to them? Are you going to boycott them? If not, then shut the fuck up. We don't need your half-ass, ham-fisted lack of rhetoric to tell us that you're too broke to tip people. This is the round that cow's ass way to say you ain't got no money, Heffa.
My opinion is wrong to rely on that.
Oh my
Especially
gosh.
at rich chain restaurants, maybe a little mom and pop shop. Well, you still have to like budget to pay your waiters well. I mean,
You do realize that a lot of mom and pop shops do. You need shut up. Shut up. A lot of diners are run pretty well. They pay their waiters. They're one of the few chains, especially like really small mom and pop shops. So I wish you knew what you were talking about, but you're trying way too hard and you're going all over the place. Honey, I can't even tell you to stay in your lane. You're so far out of the lane that you're like running alongside. Well, not running because we know you don't do that. You're just waddling alongside the road yelling. Just stop. You don't know what you're talking about. This is embarrassing for you.
don't open a store if you can't afford to pay your employees.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Here we go. Jealous again, the business owners. We know you fail at life. Just because somebody else is doing their thing doesn't mean they don't have the initiative to run a business. Shut up.
Like, no. That's just so wrong, in my opinion.
She gets on my nerves. Everything you do is wrong.
Well,
Everything.
I find not super right with the world, Chantal. The way that you treated your elderly cat.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember
The way she's treating that food is a second.
growing up, tip used to be so cheap, like $2-3 at the...
What did I
Bitch,
say?
you're like 40 though. I remember when stores used to be closed on Sundays during the holidays. I remember a lot of things. I'm 46 years old. You remember a lot of things when you've been alive 4 fucking decades. And 4 decades ago, things were cheaper. Like, come on now. Stop it. Seriously. What is wrong with you? Did you, like, basic economics 101, inflation. It's been over 30 years. Prices go up. As more people come, supply and demand, like, I don't know. I get, like I said, not everybody got a good education, and it shows. She shows me this every time she talks. I need to just treat her like the dum-dum she is.
Hey, she's mad because she has to spend more money for feeding her gullet.
And she ain't got no money.
Welcome. She's so easy to read, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like a whole thing on the transaction, like, how much do you want to leave? 10, 15, 20? I don't even know if there is a 10 anymore. They keep upping it with... It's like...
Honey, it's called a gratuity. Like, seriously, I didn't even notice it, honestly. And that's not to act like an elitist snobber at all, because, like I said, we're new homeowners. I try to budget as well as possible, but not once did I look and be like, oh, I need to see what the gratuity is. Normally, the standard for our house is 20 and above. So I don't know. This is embarrassing for you. I'm not even getting secondhand embarrassed. I'm just annoyed at the fact that you can put that out there that you're this cheap. Oof, could be me, man.
It shouldn't go up with inflation. What the heck? I don't know.
That's the whole inflation. That's the whole meaning of inflation, you dumb idiot. Like, I'm not even gonna play around. I felt like an Archer character right there calling her a dumb idiot. But she really is a dumb idiot at this point. Inflation means prices go up. The standard sets the prices. You've already inflated your dinner menu constantly. Every time I see you, that portion size goes up and up and up. So you know the standard of inflation's going up because you shovel as much food for a fucking small village into your gullet all the time. Stop giving economic tips. You're bad at this. You are not smart enough to be in this lane. Stop it.
And if you don't tip like 20%, you get reamed out by people. Like, you're so cheap. Like,
because you are cheap. If my broke behind can afford 20%, like for real, if I can afford 20%, you can do it. Your little mess. I wear Arabian gold, and my man this, and my man that, and my luxury apartment. Now you complain about 20% tip when you're eating like $70 of food right now. Come on. Cheap broke ass bitch. She got on my nerves, man.
They really give you that.
Make your food at home.
Like, for real.
Also wrong.
This isn't even an argument.
Really can only afford to pay for the meal.
Then they shouldn't be eating out. I don't care. Ding me all you want. I know. How dare you say? I don't give a fuck. If you can't afford it and you're gonna bitch like this, because some restaurants and other places, they won't ask you that business. They might side eye you, but they're not gonna turn away a person because they don't have the gratuity. Because no matter what, the restaurant still gets paid. But you should feel just a little bit embarrassed if you're going out and you can't afford to spare at least a small percentage of gratuity. Don't do it. I'm not going to change my mind on that because she's irking me.
And it's not up to the customer to feel guilty that they can't subsidize the waiters.
You've never felt guilty in your daggone life. I feel like you're an undiagnosed sociopath. You wouldn't feel guilty if it slapped you on the face.
Wages.
It's a broken system. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely it's a broken system.
And not just a broken system. It's been exploitative for years, and it just makes me mad that she's weighing in on this like she gives a fuck beyond getting food shoveling in her gullet. But this is what she does. This is exactly what she does. She rage clicks us. I'm not going over 45 minutes with this, so I'm going to try to get to at least 10 minutes of this heifer before I end this. And plus, I don't want to steal from Unicorn Pondu. I really feel that you should watch his reaction fully. He does great edits, and he does make her stuff more palatable, but this is pissing me off because I think she does this on purpose at this point.
Company's fault, but like also she's putting blame on like I don't know, like the server for working that job also, and that like
which she couldn't even keep a job. Let's keep it 100. She gave her job history, and it was just a list of failures. Failures, being fired, being let go, or mental health, making it where I can't go with. Shut the fuck up.
Lumping in with that, it's not the waiter's fault, Chantal. If you can't afford it, don't go, I guess. But like, Reem, the people that's in charge, not the poor employee that's just trying to, I don't know, like pay their bills at the same.
She's jealous. She's jealous of people with actual work ethic. It's not rocket science at this point. Anybody that shows a lick of initiative is this bitch's kryptonite. She can't stand it.
Time.
Or the waitress. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we know you're jealous waitresses. This is 2 reacts ago. I called that heifer out because according to her, only pretty, sexy people get to be waiters, and not the fact that it's a labor-intensive job which requires you to be on your feet and actually able to move fast and not be a fucking klutz. We know you're a jealous, broke bitch. You don't have to keep telling us this in so many words.
And I mean that respectfully.
You don't do anything respectfully.
I think waitresses and waiters and food servers, they do work hard. I think that you should
Is it because you heard me say it? Is it because the read I gave not 2 reacts ago about why they work so hard? Because you were acting real jelly of that alleged fish seafood restaurant that you failed your way through and got shoved back into the back of the kitchen because you weren't sexy or blonde enough? You're annoying. This is annoying. She annoys me.
Um, Pay them appropriately. It's a form of customer service. I used to get paid, some places like $12 an hour.
Okay, you know what, y'all? It's 45 minutes in. I'm probably gonna try to finish this, but I can't keep doing this. She's gonna keep reinventing her past, making up inflated, even though she doesn't even understand inflation, numbers of what she made and where she made it. The main rule that you have to learn with Chantal is that she's a liar who lies. And that a lot of this is like an Electric Larry Land fantasy for her. And she just keeps making up shit as she goes along, seeing what will get people to click and watch her. And I'm tired of giving this thirsty bitch attention for now. I'm sure she'll do something else. Like I said, whenever she does these mukbangs full of lies, I'll do my best. Or whenever she does the cooking streams, because I really do like picking those apart. But I'm not going to worry about her sad outings anymore, because that sad anniversary was hilarious. But I don't care about her grocery hauls, because the speculation that she's probably getting some of it from a food bank is weird, but I don't judge if people really need help food-wise. I'm going to wrap this up. Watch the rest of Unicorn Pondu. If she says anything else remotely off the wall, maybe I'll give a follow-up. But Chantal, you got to take everything she says, not with a grain of salt, because this bitch ingests enough sodium for all of us. Just don't let her get under your skin. She is an awful human being. But I'll be back again. Hopefully this new mic worked out well. Thank you, honey, for weighing in just a little bit, because I was wondering how many lemonades kiddo had. But I'm gonna go spend some time with my sweetie, because we're not in a fake contract marriage, and we don't have to go live during our anniversary. We don't do embarrassing stuff like that. So I will see you all again soon.